What is up, everybody? My name is Christoph, and alongside me is
Brianna. Hey guys, what's up?
and welcome to Extra Normal Podcast, where we tell abnormal stories for these extra normal times. Brianna, how are you?
I'm really good. We went to a symphony tonight
A children's symphony.
at our daughter's school, and it was kind of funny because we had like a thing going where we're like, I wonder how many people are going to show up to this, because there's like over 500 kids at her school, and I would say about 10 kids, which maybe about 10 parents showed up.
Lightly
it was kind of
attended.
sad. It kind of made me sad because I was like, these people are taking time out
Yeah.
to inspire children to play music, classical music,
Play bassoons.
yeah,
and oboes.
And well, why don't we talk about that?
It's
Let's talk about
the oboe,
oboes.
the infamous oboe. Yeah, they were posing questions, and you think I asked a rude question?
It wasn't until the way that he answered made me kind of go, oh. Go ahead and you can.
Well, so my thinking was, of course, my brain goes into weird places, and they were playing and whatever, and there was an oboe, a bassoon, a clarinet, a French horn, and a flute player, and it was immediately my brain went to, I wonder how many oboe players are in the world, and then my brain went to, I wonder how many oboe players he knows. And so they lined up questions. They're like, anybody has a question? I literally asked that question. I was like, it seems like it's an obscure instrument. And I use the word obscure. How many oboe players are there in the world, do you think? And how many oboe players do you know?
And I don't.
Is that a rude question, I guess, is the question I'm posing now.
Just to me. So it was just to me, like the way that he responded to the question
You
was
think
just
he
kind of
was
like,
offended?
yeah, he was just like, of course there's oboe players. Like, why wouldn't there be?
I asked
like,
how many.
And I
didn't say nobody else but you, buddy.
Yeah. Like, I don't, but still, I thought it was.
You thought he took, and so that now it's been swimming in my head ever since.
Yeah.
Like,
Because he's.
am I the dick? Is what's circulating through my head constantly now.
Because you love to overthink.
So am I the dick? That's the question. Mm-hmm. That's the real question. But it was fine. The kid, every kid in that place is bored because it's classical music, and they don't give a shit about classical music. But it was fine. It was fine.
Remember when Clementine was like a baby, and we would put like classical music on, or at least I would, because they supposedly makes you smarter. I was like,
Yeah, that's what they say.
let's just put it
Mozart
on.
while you're pregnant and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know if that works.
Yeah, I don't know.
But hey, do you remember our story about the poor Japanese principal who stop peeking? This is a bad setup.
Yes.
You're fucking peeking.
I remember. I won't look.
Damn it. This is not going to work. You remember the Japanese principal who got fired from his job for stealing coffee?
I feel bad for him. Tell me he got his job back.
Well, there's another case of stolen food.
Oh no. Wait, from him?
No, this is in Texas.
That'd have been funny.
What do you think would get you 50 years in prison for stolen food? In Texas, remember, I think they're pretty heavy-handed in Texas.
What restaurant? Does not matter. Is it a restaurant?
Matter. No, it's a dish.
Like from where though? From a restaurant? You're just saying in general.
In general, what
Filet
food
mignon, because it can vary from $20 to $80 to $100.
get you 50 years in prison for stealing that shit?
I'm thinking of expensive food. I don't know what's more expensive.
These can be pretty
Tartare.
pricey when you go to a restaurant, but a Texas man stole $1.2 million worth of fajitas.
Oh no!
And because of that, he was sentenced to 50 years in prison.
How did he get his hands on that much beef?
From CBS News, a Texas man has been sentenced to 50 years in prison for stealing $1.2 million worth of fajitas over 9 years. So this was a 9-year game. This is a long game. It seems, how like $1.2 million worth of fajitas is a lot of fajitas.
How were they tracking that for that long and not doing anything?
They waited for the 9th year. Like, that's it. That's your last fajita. 53-year-old. So he's going to be in prison until he dies.
Ooh.
You would assume, unless he lives to 104. You never know. 53-year-old Gilberto Escamilla was sentenced Friday after pleading guilty to theft by a public servant. So he said, I'm going to own up to it. I'm going to plead guilty.
Did he work at this place? Like, what is
We'll
happening?
See. So this guy, he pleaded guilty. Like he put his hands up and said, I did it. And still, the court gave him 50 years. They're like, thank you so much for being honest now. I mean, he was honest for 9 years, but thank you so much for pleading guilty. 50 years for you. The Brownville Herald reports he told the court the fajita scheme spun out of control. It started out with one sizzling plate, and it ended up 9 years worth of sizzling. Escamilla had been intercepting fajitas that he ordered through Cameron County Juvenile Center, where he worked, and delivering them to his own customers. So this guy, he seems like a bad seed. He would work for a juvenile center. They would get fajitas delivered, and he would take them and sell them to other people. So he had a real fajita scheme.
Oh my God, that sucks.
His scam was uncovered when he missed work for a medical appointment, and an 800-pound
Wow.
fajita delivery arrived at the center, which doesn't serve fajitas.
Oh.
So apparently he was ordering, just intercepting it before he even got there, so nobody noticed. But he had a doctor's appointment,
And it showed up.
and 800 pounds of fajitas showed up, and they're like, who the fuck ordered this fajita? We even serve that. Like, can you imagine one doctor's visit?
So they didn't even serve it, but he was getting it to sell it.
He just would order it, and somehow
It's crazy that like
nobody noticed for 9 years.
the money. Yeah, like their bookkeeper. I mean, we know.
Do you think the juvenile center has a
There's
bookkeeper?
some amazing bookkeepers out there. Don't
Shout
get me
out to
wrong.
you bookkeepers.
But I know a few, and you know who I'm talking about. I know a few that aren't really great. So yeah, who knows like who's in on it or hiding it? Like that's fucking shady.
That's wild. And apparently he was fired in August and arrested after authorities checked vendor invoices and obtained a search warrant that uncovered county-funded fajitas in his refrigerator. So he had contraband fajitas in his fridge. So he would intercept 800 pounds of fajitas. This guy, he's apparently going to appeal it. Do you think that's... How do you feel about that sentence? 50 years. That's a lot. That's a lot of fajitas, but that's a lot of years.
I wonder
also.
how much money he was making, and I wonder how desperate that he was. Because honestly, this is going to sound fucked up to say, but for some people, like the rest of his life in prison might be a little bit easier of a life. You know,
hopefully they serve fajitas in prison.
You know, I know you have to earn your ranks in prison and join gangs and whatever, always watching your back, but you get food, you get to exercise, you get to watch TV. Like there's a lot of perks for, you know, people that are struggling in that sense. So, I mean, at least you won't have to fajita hustle anymore.
Sizzling plates in prison. He maybe he'll become a cook.
Yeah.
Just don't have him be in charge of ordering food because he will take his own. You know, we mentioned Ohio, right? Well, maybe there is a good reason why the kids are talking about Ohio, because apparently a dead man's body was driven to the bank and used to withdraw money in Ohio, and 2 women are facing charges.
What?
That's according to USA Today. 2 Ohio women face charges for allegedly driving the dead body of their male roommate to the bank, propping him up, and withdrawing money from his account on Monday.
Wait, propping him up like
total Weekend at Bernie's style.
Wait.
Yeah.
Went inside the bank.
They said they roommate to the bank, propping him and withdrawing money from his account. I don't. Let's.
Is that like ATM shit?
We'll figure out. Lorene Ferrello, 55, and Karen Casbaum, 66. So these are not spring chickens. Both of Ashtabula, Ohio, located near Cleveland. No, so that's where Ashtabula is. Were charged last week in the city's municipal court with theft and gross abuse of a corpse. Yeah, you think? The 2 women allegedly found the deceased, Douglas Lehman, 80, also of Ashtabula. Ashtabula sounds like a fun place. Dead in his home where they were also residing on March 4th. Ashtabula Police Chief Robert Stell said in a statement posted on Facebook. So it looks like with the help of a third person, the women allegedly put Lehman in his car and drove to the bank where they withdrew an undisclosed amount of money from his account. Stella said, it is further alleged that Mr. Lehman was placed in the vehicle in such a manner that he would be visible to bank staff in order to make the withdrawal. The man was propped up in the passenger seat so that the teller could see him. So this is total weekend of burnings. They must have put glasses on him or something, or said he's asleep.
Wouldn't he have to say something though? Like he would have to be like, or like, just,
They were able to withdraw. You would imagine that they would.
This seems like
Ashtabula.
Okay, podunk.
Ohio. That's what they say. After leaving the bank, police said the women then dropped off the corpse at Ashtabula County Medical Center emergency room and left without identifying Lehman or themselves. A few hours later, one of the women contacted the medical center and gave them some information about Lehman, police said. So they're apparently being charged for that. There's not a lot of details other than the fact that they propped him up in the passenger seat.
They didn't kill him.
There's no indications that they killed him. 50 years?
You know what?
Yay or
Nice
nay?
try.
Less than 50 years?
Nice try.
I mean, the guy's dead. What's he going to do with that money?
I mean, maybe he had family, like, grandkids, children.
What's the sentence for gross abuse of a corpse? How serious a crime is gross abuse of a corpse? It's got to be just... 6 months behind bars and up to $10,000 in fines. So they're going to get off pretty easy for...
But fucking Fajita guy's got to be in there for 50 years.
Fajita boy's in there for 50. The two grannies who propped up their buddy. And
I would want the woman to go in longer because
in 50 years? I would say get a healthier sentence in 6 months, but 50 years.
I don't know. Like, to me, that's
if there's no evidence,
that's utterly disgusting.
It's gross. It's definitely gross.
Like what people do for money.
It's definitely ick, as the kids say with Ohio.
Not saying
I don't
that,
think they say that
basically anymore. Money laundering like the other guy was doing for his beef. But I feel like he's getting it a lot worse than they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean.
Was that the guy that died?
No.
Oh, great.
Peeking again. She's fucking peeking. Can't stop peeking. We're gonna switch sides because you can't cheat on this test anymore.
Sorry. Now, you know what caught my attention is that the advertisements for beds.
I saw somewhere that they said that apparently the person was trying to convince. It's the same thing I was telling you about, like the whole magic theory about how we don't understand. I was watching a video where they said that because we don't understand a lot of the things, how they work.
Right.
I don't understand how my phone works.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys. I don't know how my car works. I don't know how any of this shit works. From a real, I know that I push a button and it turns on, but the actual,
gas starts. Electric cars. Like we know the gist of it, but all the
we don't
little
understand how it works.
Things, yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Barely anybody does, right? And so it seems like magic. So there's a theory that, because of that, everything appears to be magic to us, that we develop conspiracy theories because when you have magic, it tends to make your brain spin and you think there must be more to it. There must be something deeper. There must be some kind of mysticism behind it. But anyways, in that same kind of breath, they were saying that the whole theory that our phones are constantly listening to us is not exactly true. Like Siri's always listening, which I don't know if I believe. I'm still going to believe that they're constantly listening because I talk about shit and it shows up.
I think
coincidence maybe.
I think
but I don't care.
if anything, for sure the Alexas, for sure.
The passive listen. Do you think the government's listening?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's just Amazon trying to sell us shit? But do you think the NSA is listening actively?
I think that they can tune in whenever they want, so they can kind of hop. Maybe like
I'm sure they're
probably always listening, but not like listening. It's more like they have like a computer, like a robot type
like
AI.
An AI,
yeah,
like
that
algorithm that picks
so
up.
if there's like a triggered word, that's like I don't know, like if
some terrorist code
yes,
or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
Then they can tune in.
You
for
think
sure.
So?
I mean, if I was intelligent enough
If you were the government
to make that, I would fucking do that. So hell
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
be
I
doing
think
that.
I definitely think that, there's passive listening because if you, and then again, this goes to the magic in me being the town jester. I don't know how anything works, but it's obviously listening for when you say, "Hey, Siri, hey, Alexa," like it's passively listening to you. Like it's trying to pick up those words. So it's got to be stored in some way. What they're doing with it, I don't know. But it's scary to think about. But apparently, the person was saying that there's no, your phones aren't listening to you. I don't know. I kind of almost don't want to believe that.
Yeah.
I kind of just
I don't
want to.
believe it.
Yeah, especially because
And sometimes I know this is like crazy too. I feel like sometimes stuff that I think about shows up in my phone.
wait, you've gotten that?
Yeah. And I'm
Like
not
what?
the only one. Other people have said the same thing. I don't know. Like
You've just hit a grand conspiracy theory.
I'm telling
Professor
you,
X is running the government NSA.
I am not the only one that has said this. And that it made me feel
Okay.
so sane because it came from somebody's mouth first before mine. I was like,
But do you think it's
that
like
happens to me too all the time? Coincidence?
I'm gonna, instead of playing devil's advocate, I'm gonna play government advocate. Do you think it's or Amazon advocate? I don't know which one. But do you think it's like you were like, I don't know, like we've been buying a bunch of new furniture. You were looking at beds and then you were thinking about like a table, and a table showed up. Like you think it's that, like it's just they're showing you related items, or is it just, all of a sudden you're like, I want strawberries, and you see
It'll be something
strawberries.
like maybe like I'm thinking like I have some like health issue, right? And then like something very similar, like the almost exact same thing that I was thinking about will like pop up, and I'm like, this is weird. Like why? Like I was just thinking about this,
Yeah.
And then I get all like into the article or whatever,
I think the internet's got us pegged. I think that we're getting
Maybe.
pegged by the internet. I think a lot of it's algorithms. They know what we're into. They know that, like, I'm into weird, fucked up stories, so it's just gonna keep feeding me that shit. It knows that you're into like pink, and so it's gonna keep you. Like, I think the algorithms are so sophisticated, they can kind of think for us and think ahead of us, right? They know
So scary.
our tendency. They know like what we gravitate towards, and so even if we're not directly thinking about that, they've got us down and they got us on the wheel. Like the suggestions are good enough that like it's almost like it's plucking it out of your own brain. It's creepy.
So scary.
It is scary. Speaking of scary,
Oh no.
I don't know if you're gonna put in your vote, but apparently the AI generated contestants are being submitted right now for the world's first ever AI beauty pageant.
Who fucking cares? It's robots.
Well,
Right?
I don't know. People care.
Wait, or is it AI that gets to choose the people?
No, I think it's AI generated.
Like they're
people
actual
AI
they're
generated
just like pictures of like
avatars?
robot.
No, they're like AI generated art. Like those are AI generated, and they look like
real people. Yeah.
This is from people.com. It's our first ever story from people.com. Wow. Well, next we're going to go to vanity.com. The future of AI is here. Oh, fuck you, people. The world's first AI beauty pageant will judge AI generated contestants competing for the title of Miss AI. The competition is the first installment in a program of awards presented by the World AI Creator Awards. How creepy are they?
Voting? Are the robots
Creeps.
voting?
No, people are voting.
So humans are voting for these dumb robots.
Human perverts are voting for
This is the
AI
stupidest
generated
thing
females.
ever. What a waste of life.
And its inaugural partner, FanView. Oh, that sounds like a dirty website. A subscription platform that hosts AI content. What kind of content, you creeps? According to WAICA's, WAICA's website, the organization is dedicated to recognizing the achievements of AI creators around the world. And the Miss AI pageant will assess contestants on their beauty, tech, and clout for the chance to earn the Miss AI crown. There's no talent contest?
Is there like, are these
don't answer
all
those-
the same AIs making these women, or is it different? Like, what is the fucking point of this? Like, what is the point? Is there this robot making this one and then that one's making that one? Like, are they coming from different?
They're coming from different sources, I would imagine. Someone's just typing in.
Oh my God.
Give me, I don't know. We're looking at pictures.
It's
Give me pink
hair
hair. Give me pink hair.
With abs.
With abs. That's it. And then it generates and you win. Judges will, who wins though? Too?
I would vote for the pink girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But I'm not going
she
to
might
do
win.
it. I'm not. I refuse.
She might win.
I refuse.
You never know.
This
Here's
is the
hoping.
stupidest thing ever.
I'm hoping for you, babes. Judges will take into account classic elements of pageantry such as looks, poise, and answers to questions. So they're going to be answering questions too, like, what would you do to make world peace?
You know, everybody
But
listening.
contestants will also... Well, go ahead, sorry.
I haven't talked about aliens in a while.
It's been a while.
And I miss them.
Are you okay?
And I want everybody to know.
So you want them to come down and
I want everybody to know the reason they don't come down is because of dumb fucking shit like this that humans do. Like, who's gonna waste their life? Like, I know people are like, I never want to be Miss America, but it takes a lot of balls for these women to get up there and fucking have to answer questions.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot, to get there. And I think it's an amazing thing. And I don't think it's just about looks, but, their poise and how they answer questions and who they are and what they're doing in their life to be an inspiration to people. And so like this pisses me off because this is all fucking fake. These women are real. Like, so this bullshit, no, angry, mad.
I listen, I don't really have any affection for the real beauty pageant scene, let alone an AI generated one.
But I just, no.
A press release from Weka, I'm just going to keep calling it, notes that the contest signifies a monumental leap forward, launching almost 200 years after the world's first ever real life beauty pageant took place in the 1880s. I wonder what that was like. What was the beauty pageant in the 1880s?
Oh, wow. Let's look. You gotta look at pictures.
Is there pictures from the first ever beauty
I wonder if they're showing their knees.
That was a scandalous part.
Give me
Instead of like
knee.
the swimsuit edition, it was the knee section.
Like with the like the stocking like slightly pulled down below it.
Instead of the bikini contest, it was a stocking
a
contest.
bonnet. Who has the cutest bonnet?
Anyway, $20,000 is the prize, by the way. So submit your entry if you want to win $20,000 cool cash from Weka. Let's look at first.
Fuck you.
I'm saying if you want to. I'm not encouraging.
Are they like, so do you take like a picture? They do like those TikTok filters. Is that like I could take a picture of myself and then make it into an AI and then submit it? Is that what this is doing? Is that what they're doing? And then you have to digitally answer questions?
All you're doing is it's your AI creation.
Oh. Still no.
And then, there's some creep behind it, and then they win $20,000 to make more stuff.
Yuck.
The thing is, like, here, it's not only is it's a little, like, offensive and creepy and gross, but it also seems like with AI, I like if you're using an AI tool to generate Miss AI, how much talent does that take? Like because you're just typing.
That's what
you're
I'm
typing
talking
in.
about. It's like I said, these women that actually like have worked their asses off for not even just a year, years,
sure,
to even be considered. And these are women all around the world. Like this is like offensive. I find it very offensive.
Do you have any qualms or issues with pageants in general, like beauty pageants or Miss fill in the blank?
Yes, because I will say from my own experience, like, like I don't judge people. I know there's a lot of girls out there that hate that kind of stuff, but for me, the reason why like I don't like it, and you'll remember, I did a pageant one time, and
it's like a rockabilly thing.
It was very disappointing, because it was like we had to travel all the way to Vegas and find a babysitter and then I had never really been in a pageant before. And so, you go through all the emotions, like you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, like you're not intriguing enough to answer the questions, you're not witty enough. And so like, that's why I think this is probably why it upsets me so much, because it's a lot of prepping, mentally, physically, you know, to look your best, and
That's why I left the
in
pageant
this
scene.
in this pageant, this is the first time I've actually talked about this like publicly. It was a very, very disappointing thing because I made the top 5 of the pageant, and then they announced, you know, first, second, and third. And after the pageant, there was 5 judges. After the pageant, 3 of the judges came up to me afterwards, and I didn't go up to them. I met, I think, one of them once before at like Viva Las Vegas, but we were friends on Instagram, but like not like friends. But she came up to me, and
No Chandler.
and she straight said like, I don't know how you didn't win. She's like, me and 2 of the other judges voted for you. And then mingling and stuff, I kind of just like was like, what? Like I just thought maybe she was just being nice. And then one of the other judges that I had never met before, that I followed her, I love her work. She came up to me and told me the same thing. And then the third judge, they were all 3 very confused. How could you not place in the top 3 when 3 out of 5 judges like voted for you?
Number
the
one.
math isn't mathing, right? Like, you know, like at least like I'm not saying I deserve first place at all, like, but I thought, me being the person I at least thought I should have got like 3rd place. You know, just I would have taken 3rd place, but I mean, I was very happy to even make 5th place. But I remember the owner. Well, she was the owner of the vintage shop that was throwing it. And the guy that was going to announce the winner, she came up on stage kind of abruptly. She's like, I'm going to announce the winner. He was like, and he kind of looked at her like, what are you doing? Like, I'm supposed to be doing this. And she had
Fix was in.
flown one of her friends out from, do you remember her? She looked like a crackhead.
No.
This is not even me being
I do not.
a bitter bitch. Like, I would own up to that shit. Like I said, maybe I didn't deserve 1st place, but at least 3rd. Like, but she flew her out she was out of state, and she got 1st place. And I remember the owner of the store, when she announced, right before she announced, she looked at me and she gave me this weird fucking look. And I just, at that moment, I've always been an intuitive person. I was like, something's off. And this was all planned. And just like everything about it, like, you know, because I'm a professional makeup artist, professional hairstylist, wardrobe was on point. The way that this girl was dressed and her her hair and makeup was definitely not fitting the criteria of like a pinup pageant. Everything like any pageant, you have to be polished to the T. And so that was an inkling to me that she booted me out of the top 3 so her friend could be number 1. And I mean, that's a nice gesture she did to her friend. But for me, for the rest of my life, of my pinup career, I never joined any other, you know, other competitions, because that really affected me, you know, truly affected me. All my friends were there. That was very, very devastating to me. So, sorry to go on this rant, but I think that's why this whole AI thing really fucking bothers me, because this is like not real people.
You ain't real.
You know?
Yeah, you know, that with that, speaking to that rockabilly scene that is part of that, like
It's cliquey.
It's a small circle, because there's and it's dwindling, because there's not that many people assess with the 50s anymore, and so it's dwindling by every day. So it's very cliquey, like everybody knows each other, and all the people who are, I don't want to say prominent, the people who are running the shows and the festival and stuff, they all know each other, and it's all super cliquey. But yeah, I don't know. It's the fix. You know, a lot of those contests are fucking the fixes on. Like, that's why I got on a rant about, you know, an art contest for my little one, because it's so subjective, and like it's just like the winners and losers in art like fucking pisses me off. I hate the fucking Grammys. I hate the Oscars. I hate all that shit. Like, like in art, like if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Picking winners and losers is complete fucking bullshit in that world to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get that people, let me take that back a little bit. I get that people want to acknowledge and give praise to people who do good work. I get that. But the whole contest of it is just, it's hard for me. I love the fact that people get praised and people are acknowledged for their beautiful art and their beautiful work. But it's just, when there's winners and losers, that's when I get bummed out.
What I've noticed, especially in my scene, which would be the rockabilly scene, and I don't know, I can't speak for other scenes out there, but it's all about the, like you're saying, the schmoozing. Like you gotta schmooze
Gotta
everybody.
grease the wheels, as they say.
And it's like you have
Grease
to
the fajitas.
you have to get to know like literally everybody in the scene. And it's so much work.
Exhausting.
And so much ass kissing. I'm sorry to say, because that's a lot of what it is. And so like I felt for me to not, because like I'm like in the scene, but not like I can't keep up like that. It's too much for me. I love my life. I love my family. I'm not going to take away from all of that to just win a fucking competition. It's not that important to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like for some people it is. For me, like living my life with my family is more important than that. But so for me to like being even in the top 5, not even being anybody in the scene, that was huge, and for having each of those judges come up to me and tell me that was even huger, because I only knew one of them and we only had met one time in person. We were social media friends. So it was very, I was very proud of myself for what I did. But that is, you're right. Like that is what it, and they get bribed. I've heard a lot of the big competitions.
Scandal.
I can't say which
about
ones,
Scandal in
but
the
I heard
rockabilly
they get bribed.
Really?
It's like, oh yeah, like we'll pay if you, make my girl first.
That
like,
makes sense.
And I'm just like,
That makes sense.
I hate that.
Yeah, well, because
hate
it's
that.
it's like paying for your kid to win a trophy. It's kind of Well, speaking of the 50s, I'm glad myself that I was never an Elvis impersonator, except for once. I did it on the streets of Hollywood. You know those like carny types that do like Elmo and shit? That was me for like a week.
Okay.
What?
I remember that.
What?
And I remember your friend doing that with you.
Uh-huh.
Was that before you became Pink Elvis, or did you or was the costume still like white and red? Because I remember we washed it and it like bled.
It was an angle.
And then you still wore it.
I did, because I was dumb and young and broke and all that fun. But the crazy part, one of the craziest part is that, just recalling that, is that on the Hollywood Boulevard scene, there's like turf wars, because I showed up like, I'm just gonna do Elvis and take a couple pictures and earn a couple bucks and see like the carniness of it. Just kind of me and my friend were basking in it. Mm-hmm. But then there was like a Elvis,
the real
fucking Elvis on Hollywood.
The real wannabe Elvis.
Pissed. He got pissed, and he was like he told me through the Marilyn Monroe to stay off his turf. And then there was like a really old Marilyn Monroe. There was like Marilyn Monroe B. That was like, you're okay, we'll buddy up with you. So I was on the B squad for the 50s.
I love it.
But that was a fun time.
That's fucking great.
But I'm so glad that I'm not.
And then your fucking friend's in a gorilla suit.
Yeah, and it was hot as shit. It was hot as fuck. And he earned $0. So he was baking in the sun, earning no money. But we had a good laugh. Most of it, we were there just to be fucking idiots. But thank God.
You got like $20 that night.
Something like that. Something petty. But thank God that I'm not an Elvis impersonator right now, because apparently Elvis impersonators are being hunted.
Ooh?
Because from the Independent over in the jolly old UK, a retired chiropractor from upstate New York is facing manslaughter charges after he allegedly killed an Elvis impersonator by chloroforming him during sex. Ronald Rayer, 69, fun, get it? Is accused of restraining. He waited until he was 60. Is accused of restraining and binding Thomas Kreider, 40, then administering a dangerous dose of chloroform more than one time during sexual encounter, which led to his death on the 5th of April, according to court documents obtained by Times Union. 4 days after Kreider's death, Mr. Rayer went to the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office and reported that his body was in the basement of his Milton home. I guess he fessed up. Mr. Ray was arrested and charged with second-degree manslaughter. So I guess it sounds like it was like a fun, like, chloroform me. Like, let's have a good, because it's manslaughter.
Wow.
They're not charging you with murder, which means they were fucking around. They're like, I want you to chloroform me. That's kinky.
We're not doing that.
I don't want to fucking do that. Like,
Okay.
I know how klutzy I am.
Just clarifying, because you just said.
Why would I want?
You just said that's kinky.
It is kinky. It's kinky as shit.
Just so you know.
There's certain
Boundaries.
kinky things that I'm not into. I'm not into pony play.
But you know what?
But that shit's kinky.
That was last episode. We've talked about, like, was it a cool thing when you were in high school or junior high for me, to do that thing where you pass out, that pressure point, and it's basically like getting choked.
I remember that was a thing, but I was never tried. I was never like, oh, that sounds like fun. No, thank you.
Well, thank God nothing. There was like majority of 8th grade was doing that.
Yeah,
and we would do it in big groups at school sometimes, and it was just because it would make sometimes not me, like I would pass out and act weird, but like it was just funny stories that we could say, oh, you said this and this, you don't remember anything.
Wait, so I don't remember this precisely. I remember this was a thing, but I don't like.
I can do it too if you like.
No, why? No, I'd rather be.
You'll wake up in like 3 seconds. You'll wake up. You'll still be standing. You just kind of do like a little.
But why?
Whoa, that was kind of cool. A weird fucking kid.
I'm not in 8th grade anymore.
A lot of stuff?
I don't want to do.
Why did we do a lot of stuff?
Please don't do that.
I'm just saying, like, it wasn't a kink. We didn't do it during sex, but like, you know, it was something that we would do for fun. And I remember one of my friends, we used to hang out with like these like punk kids, and
you hung out with pumpkins?
Yeah, and
cool.
His name was
Smashing
Rick, and
Pumpkins,
I remember,
or no?
Probably.
Anybody know that band anymore? I don't think so.
Anyways, and he did it one time, and he like tried to like bite people. Like,
hold on, wait, what?
Like vampire. Like,
okay.
Like he became like a.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you real.
Give it to me.
This person, who allegedly passed out for 3 seconds and started biting people.
Yeah.
I want to give it to you straight because you're old enough to know the truth now.
Okay.
This motherfucker was into biting people. And he's like, I know how I'm going to get an excuse to bite people. I'm just going to act like I passed out and I'm going to start biting.
I can see
There's
that.
no fucking way he did that.
I can see that.
He used it as an excuse. It was his moment.
He do some weird shit. I could see that. Yeah.
Nothing to do with him passing out. He just like biting people.
But he still would, yeah.
I like how he thought that was an excuse. Like, if I do this, they're going to believe that I'm biting people.
It was so
for real.
crazy that we would do that, though, and not have any consequence of thinking like, hey, this could kill you.
I wonder if anybody died.
None in our group, thank God.
The thing is, now people know. Like, let's take, for instance, that Tide Challenge thing where people were eating fucking Tide Pods as a joke.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in our day,
back in our day, breakfast.
My bones. People wouldn't fucking hear about that shit. Like, someone would die in fucking Wyoming.
Yeah.
And you would never know. Now, like, one kid dies, and you hear about it. And so kids kind of wise up. At least the kids wise up and realize how stupid it is. But, you know, I feel like before, that stuff probably killed maybe a couple people, and you just never heard about it.
Yeah.
You just never knew.
I think
wild shit.
As much as I hate social media and think it's trash, there's stuff like that where it is like that. It definitely gives you some more information on things going on. You know, the more that you talk about it and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that you don't want to hear about on the internet, but stuff like that's like, oh shit, like these are things we need to look for, like in our child, you know, in the school and what the kids are into. So
it's going to be, it feels like it's fucking dangerous too nowadays. So.
Oh, is that the Elvis that died?
That is the Elvis that died.
Wow. Uncanny.
Does he look like Elvis? Kind of.
Yeah.
He looks like Elvis. So, apparently it was consensual. They knew each other for years. He didn't know. He tampered with the crime. I think he just I'm sure they were fooling around with chloroform, as you do. It's a Saturday night. What are we gonna do? We're gonna smoke some fucking. We're gonna smoke some pot, or we're gonna fucking do chloroform. I don't know. They chose chloroform that night. It was consensual, and apparently he died. And the guy's like, I have no idea. So he just sat there for 4 days.
Do you
and
think
just like, I don't know what to fucking do.
this is morbid and not nice? But
not for this podcast. No morbid things.
Do you think that he still fucked him, even like he was unconscious?
It appears. I would imagine because they would use it consensually. Is that a word? Feels like a word. They would use it consensually for years, that it feels like it was an accident. And so I feel like once he realized that
He was sad.
the
Were they
person
in a
died, he must have
relationship,
been
or
sad.
they just were like
I
fuck
think we're
buddies?
just fuck buddies.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if because he's a lot older than him.
69 and 42.
He had to been, and looking at him and looking at him. Do you think he was like paying him?
Like an escort thing?
Yeah.
Maybe. Listen, there's all kinds of different interests though. Some people are like into older men, and some people are into like younger men.
Yeah.
Some older men are into younger men, and
you
some
know
younger
what?
men are into older
There's
men. That's the thing.
There's some
Look it up, kids.
older looking women and men that are attractive. That is not one of them. So if that's what you're into, I guess that's what you're.
Neither one of them were like favorite celebrities, so they couldn't.
I think that the Elvis guy is good looking.
Okay.
I find Elvis Presley attractive.
But what's wrong with him being like into
That's Grandpa.
the guy with the dead eyes?
He looks like. Thank you. Thank you.
Him and the dead eye guy.
God.
Maybe that's his kink. He's into dead eye guys. Maybe that's his thing.
Zombie.
Don't kink shame people. Well, don't fuck with chloroform if you're gonna like fuck around. I don't know. Is there a substitute? Is there a safe substitute? Can we?
No.
If you're a
Just don't.
sexpert, call us. Is chloroform? Is any form of that type of thing? There's got to be no safe way for that, because chloroform is like the person's into fucking passing out.
That's why I'm saying, like, I can relate. I don't know about. I don't.
What, the dead eye fucking or the chloroform? Which one?
The passing out stuff was fun.
I don't think I have dead eyes.
Not.
Are my eyes dead? Go ahead.
Stop.
Why'd you laugh?
My chest hurts.
What are I know? Is it like dead eyes? You
Dead eye
know it
joke.
when you see it, but you can't really describe it. How would you describe dead eyes? They just have no like
he
expression, right?
He looks like he's about to croak.
Is it just you look like you're on death's doorstep?
I think it's one eye's kind of cocked. It's that one looks cocked.
I
to me.
think it's also the like
They're sunken in.
there's like a creepiness in that stare. Like
And his mouth.
Do you think maybe it was an accident? Like you were saying, I'm gonna lay it into yours. Maybe it was an accident, but then he was like, I'm actually into this.
He's gonna fuck that dead body. Because I mean, if you're into fucking somebody when they're passed out,
Hold on.
he finished.
Well,
And he's like, "Hey, wake up!"
investigators
now."
said the two had known each other for many years, and both the sexual encounter and the chloroform use appear to be consensual. Kreider, who went by the stage name T.J. Green, is that Elvis related? What's that got to do with Elvis? I don't know. And who also worked as a tour guide for a local Star Trek museum in Ticonderoga. What the? There's a Star Trek museum in Ticonderoga?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Where's Ticonderoga? Oh, New York.
Oh,
Okay, this is not
interesting.
this is not adding up now. Went missing on Friday when he last spoke to his wife. Went missing on Friday when he last spoke to his wife.
Wait, him?
Heidi Green.
Elvis was married to a woman?
The Elvis, there's folks. This is the
Plot twist.
This is the plot twist.
Plot twist. I just thought he was a single.
Star Trek Museum tour guide and a local Elvis impersonator was married to wife Heidi Green. Miss Green, 42, who reported him missing to Ticonderoga. We'll see.
I just want to say Wakanda
Police.
forever. I don't know. I have no
The next
idea
day
why.
said Kreider left Friday to pick up a free box spring from a person in return for moving some furniture. Yeah, he got spring, all right. He was always so trusting that even if he met someone one time, they were a friend, Miss Green said, recalling her concern over his easygoing, trusting nature. In the days following the Star Trek superfan's disappearance, his loved one spread the word on social media. He was a sci-fi geek and nerd, Miss Green said. He was into so many things. He even got a tattoo sleeve on his arm of just He-Man and She-Ra characters. Cool. Cool tattoo, bro. She's just like,
So
I
she
wonder
had
if they had
no
an
idea.
open relationship because she's just kind of.
Well, no, you're saying like that he was trusting. Like, so she didn't have any idea that this was going on.
She said he was very trusting. Like he would trust everybody. So I wonder if she knew. I wonder if it was an open relationship or if she's like.
Oh, sorry. You want to go fuck a fucking grandpa?
Mm-hmm.
He better be fucking giving you like fucking 50 G's a week.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. You would. I'm not asking for this. Don't clip this, internet. Do not clip this. If I were to say, honey, I found a dead-eyed old man. He's willing to pay me $50,000.
To chloroform me?
I'm gonna fucking. I might.
Don't worry, I'll be passed out the
Don't
whole time.
worry.
I
I'll
won't
be
remember
sore,
anything.
but not remember. Well, you would be okay with that?
It depends on how much money.
$50,000.
Maybe
What you
more.
said? $50,000.
Probably more. Probably more than that.
Okay, got it. Wow. I think I'm worth more than $50,000, old man. I still look okay for my age. Okay. Wow. Wow. That is a revelation. Not going to take you up on that offer, but
You're
noted.
not going to do
Noted.
that. That's disgusting.
Well,
I would
you're the
never-
one
I
who
wouldn't-
offered it. I'm
I
telling
would
you
not
no.
Be pimping
You
you out
offered
like
it.
that.
I told you no.
I'm just saying,
I said no.
homegirl.
No is no.
I'm just saying. I'm saying, homegirl.
Uh-huh.
Homegirl, come on.
Come on. Just this
okay,
box
but
spring?
what
You
I
should have
will
got more
say-
than a box spring. That's insensitive.
I'm
I'm
really
sorry.
trying to.
Sorry about your loss.
Other than beady old man eyes, I'm trying to put myself in Elvis impersonators'
Headspace.
shoes.
His
And
blue suede shoes.
and
Sorry. We're sorry for your loss, Miss Green.
and I will tell you the pressure point without having to do a drug when you're
Use the button.
when you're the way that we would make I'm gonna show it like this is how you do it.
Don't make yourself pass out on
No,
video,
I just want to
please.
show them how you did it. That's like
I
the
don't
pressure
have a
point.
medical license.
But anyways, it feels really good.
Oh, so there's a thing to it.
So
You
that
just
it
admit-
feels really good, and that's not even in a sexual way. It's not like, ooh, I'm gonna
But
have
hold on,
sex
how's it?
now.
How's it feel? Is it just
It's
like a
like-
high almost? Like
It's like I don't even know. You gotta just do it.
I'm gonna do it.
No, I don't want anybody to do it. Please, everybody
No, I'm just kidding.
listening.
I'm not gonna
like,
do it. Don't
please,
do it.
Nobody.
Yeah, you're
nobody do
advocating
this.
for it. Do not do it.
But I'm just saying,
Do some mushrooms instead.
yeah.
It's better. It's longer lasting too.
It's a weird thing to experience, and it's a weird thing to explain.
Okay.
You know. If you know, you know.
I don't know.
I know.
I'll never know.
I know.
I'll never know.
50 G's, maybe.
Maybe.
Just kidding.
Maybe I'll find out if I 50K. Hey, old man, do not email me. Jeez, I
I thought you were
can't.
gonna say something else. So like you said, never mind.
What? I guess I can edit it out later, but I don't.
I sound like you were saying, don't eat me out.
Well, if he's paying $50,000, I'm gonna let him eat me
Eat that
out.
ass.
That's part of the package.
Eat that ass.
You got to get premium. You can't skimp on that.
All or nothing.
I want to know what you would do in this situation. If you had, let's say, hypothetically, you had a debit card, a credit card, and
Hypothetical.
a bank account. Let's say hypothetically.
Okay.
And you found out that someone stole your debit card, right?
Yeah.
Then you found out that person, that two people stole it, and those two people who stole it won a jackpot on a scratcher for £4 million.
No.
What do you think you would
Wait,
be?
this really happened?
This really happened in England from a scratcher in England.
Okay. I would be really mad.
Yeah.
But at the same token, that wasn't my scratcher.
That wasn't your scratcher. You didn't actively make the purchase, but
No,
your
but
debit
it
card
is-
was
yes.
used.
So I think split it.
So you're negotiating with thieves.
But at the same, like it's hard because like
But you
who's
can't.
to say I was even gonna go and get a ticket? So if it wasn't for
It's
them,
illegal activity.
so who gets the money?
So far, nobody, because these dumbbells stole the debit card. They went to go buy scratchers. Then they had, I think, 4 or 5 days of a fucking bender. They were like popping champagne
'Cause they
bottles
won?
and
These
living
are
it
the
up.
guys?
Those are the guys.
Oh.
Really living it up. They were fucking
Did they
all
get
about
any
it.
money right away or no?
No, they got paid out quickly.
Oh wow.
They got some money right away and they just started living it up until they started getting fucking chatty. And then they found out that the debit card was stolen. They said that, oh, we got it from a friend. It was stolen. So it was reported as fraud by, I think, the lottery commission, essentially in the UK. So now thieves are out. They're being charged. Thieves are out the money. And I think from what I saw, holder of the debit card is out because he didn't actively make the purchase.
Yeah.
What would
That's a hard
you
one.
think would be a fair payout
By
to this person with
by
the debit
British
card?
by the British lottery.
By the United Kingdom Lottery Commission. I don't know what it's fucking. The Bureau of Lottery Tickets, United Kingdom. I don't know what it's called.
If I was in charge, I would give it to that person.
Would you give the $4 million
To
full,
the person
full
that
winnings?
that tragically had their card stolen, just to be a good Samaritan, be like, hey, like, you know what I mean? That's a shitty situation, but those people are assholes. And you know what? Now it's your money. They don't get it.
But you didn't actively
Well,
make
like,
the scratcher purchase.
The thing is, like, the lottery, like, they're going to get the fucking money back anyways because people are
Yeah.
going to keep buying the lottery. So it's like, you know, give it to the person that, you know, should have deserved it. Use their money because technically, like, it was that
So
person.
you're on board with £4 million, full blown.
Mm-hmm.
You get even though you didn't buy the ticket, you get the winnings.
Or even give them something. Oh my God, is there a video of them? They look so lame, especially that one in the white jacket.
It looks like they're trying to. It looks like everybody's trying to
Like, we're
also
rich
take
now.
legal action because they're saying that they're owed the $4 million too. So
Who?
everybody, the card stealers.
Oh no, they're assholes.
Let's read on it and see if we
Yeah.
can suss out a few more details out of this. Joshua Adamans cards details were used when the Blotto Louts hit the jackpot in 2019. So this all good. This spurs back all the way from 2019. But the 29-year-old had no idea of his involvement until the Sun approached him last week. John Ross Watson and Mark Goodwin from Bolton bought the winning scratch card while on a stealing safari in London. British people sometimes have fun words. They're on a stealing safari in London. The Sun told how they beat the odds of 4 million to 1 to win one of 3 maximum £4 million red scratch card jackpots.
Question, really
Yeah.
quick. Were they friends with this guy and they stole his card, or was it literally just like stolen?
I haven't seen anything about it. I think they just
okay.
stole the digits. The pair went on a 5-day bender after winning the cash, downing champagne, cocktails, lager, vodka, Jack Daniels, cider, and wines. They just got fucking shit-faced. But their bungling conspiracy faltered after letting slip they didn't have bank accounts, with Camelot investigating the win. They
How
then
do you get cashed out like that then?
I don't know. I think
There's no way. Did they put it on like a...
like a prepaid card. They then made their claim to the cash public, saying a pal who wanted to remain anonymous had given them the debit card. Both were career criminals before the win, with Goodwin racking up 22 convictions for 45 criminal offenses. Watson has 72 convictions for 133 offenses.
Wow.
They eventually pleaded guilty to fraud after police investigated the win, returning the Louts back to the clink. till they went back to cleans. The louts, is that a British term? Josh exclusively told the Sun he had absolutely no idea he was involved with this story and had never met the pair. He's now been left wondering if he should have seen some of the jackpot since his card was used. Josh said that he was contacted by police at the time, but they never revealed any details about what his debit card had bought. So the police were like, your debit card was used. He's like, on what? They're like, no, we don't, not telling you.
Oh, shit.
None of your business.
And he probably thought it was like something like drugs or whatever.
It was probably debit card. It probably showed up as a charge for some liquor stores. It's probably like they bought booze. But they bought so the police were in cahoots with the lottery commission holding that money from him. Conspiracies. He said, no one ever told me it was because someone won 4 million pounds. I've had my card stolen before. I was like, why is this such a big deal? No one ever explained it to me. So like the police were trying to act nonchalant and like freaking out over it at the same time. If it was about people winning $4 million on my card, I would have been interested to see what happens to these people. Joss said Greater Manchester Police asked him to come to the city and attend court for his stolen debit, but never told him why.
What?
They kept calling me. They even sent police to my house. But I was like, I'm not going to Manchester to say I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything. At the end of 2020, they're asking me to go to court, and even at this point, I still had no idea. So they're telling, please go to court. We need, because they're like, I guess they just don't. I guess the police and the Lotto Commission don't want the fuss of like this person's gonna start haggling us to get some of this money.
But that's so wrong to not tell them to enclose any information. I feel like that's illegal.
It seems fishy.
Yeah,
I don't know about legal, but fishy for sure. I mean, I'm sure that.
But you have a right as a citizen. You know what I mean?
But you're not making the action.
Them.
It's very great because you're not making the action to purchase a scratcher, but your debit card is being used.
And they know that he had nothing really to do with it. So it's like, why do they keep pressuring him?
Because they want him as a witness to pop these guys. I even asked them, hi, what is this for? And they just ignored it. That was right at the peak of COVID. I didn't want to go to a courtroom full of people just for my card getting stolen. Josh said the card was stolen when he was on a night out in Clapham. So many fun towns this episode. Clapham. Clapham. Goodrum had seen Josh's debit card details and wrote the numbers down on his hand. The thieving pair used the numbers to buy $180 worth of items in a card machine at Clapham's Londis. He said, I definitely would have been more cooperative if they told me what was happening. All they sounded like was that my card got stolen and they were going way over the top with it. He said if he got any money from the win, he would buy a house in London and take his family on holiday. Look at this guy. He just wants a house and take his family on a holiday. Dicks. But experts spoke to the Sun and said it was unlikely that Josh would see any of the cash. A GMP spokesperson said, we concluded a full investigation into a case of fraud by false misrepresentation, which resulted in 2 men receiving custodial sentences. Thanks. We provided the victim with appropriate updates and information that protected the integrity of the investigation and helped ensure the offenders were brought to justice. The spokesperson for the lottery operator, Alwyn, said Josh didn't have any claim to the money given that the ticket was purchased fraudulently. They said, there has been no reason for us to contact him as he is not the owner of the ticket and he has not contacted us. The prize in question will be paid to National Lottery good causes. Apparently the Lotto's saying we're giving it to charity. That's their whole spiel.
Okay, well, I mean,
it's better. But still crack off a little bit for Josh. Come on. What about Josh?
It's sad. Wouldn't you be bummed the fuck out?
Yeah.
Being that close with your debit card use. I love that they're giving it to charity, but
that would piss me off, to be honest.
Yeah.
That would totally piss me off.
But they definitely should give him $50K.
Yeah, they should give.
Have it your way.
Yeah.
Maybe throw in some.
He could pay a dude to chloroform him. So speaking of police fucking up, apparently there's a town in Washburn, Maine, where a police officer got fired because he basically he found someone like. This is a town of 1,500. He found someone on the street, and he said he picked him up and dropped him off at the hospital, but he didn't. And so this guy is fired
Why did he lie?
There's no real. I think he just didn't want to do anything.
Work?
He just didn't want to work. The wild part is that Washburn Police is now, because of this, is now shutting down because that was their police officer.
They're one.
They want police officer. So like, we got a shifty cop. We're just gonna shut down shop. No more police because the one guy we had
What about those poor people?
falsified records.
That's the thing. Like,
it's probably a county thing now. There's probably a county.
Oh, okay.
The county
there's
sheriff's
a lot of fucked up cops. There's a lot of corruption.
That's crazy.
But we need cops. I mean,
yeah, of course.
God,
yeah, but apparently Washburn doesn't need because they had a cop and now they don't need him anymore.
Oh my god.
They're leaving it up to the county sheriffs. Oh my god, I forgot about this. Did you hear about Dubai? They got 1.5 years worth of rain in just a day.
Yeah, and I heard it's. I did a little bit of
There's conspiracy theories floating out.
I heard that it was from they did the cloud seeding.
That's the conspiracy theory, and they do cloud seeding.
They do,
which has to fuck up with the environment. It's banting back and forth how much of it has to do with that, because apparently it's.
I almost thought it was not real because I saw the videos and I was like, this is like over exaggerated. Was there really a Was there really a tornado? There was like a fucking,
I don't know about tornado, but it was like a flood.
Tornado. I was like it was showing the rain and just God.
That seems fake, but yeah, it was definitely a flood. It was a year and a half worth of rain in a day, and it just flooded out everything.
And Dubai is like money, like very high end.
It's super high end. And so they're doing everything to make it more appealing. They are cloud seeding because they want
to go there.
I mean, I'm not taking a vacation there.
I never wanted to go there anyways.
I had some interest in going just because they have cool buildings and it's a cool place, but it
just feels
not
so
that much.
like
There's a lot of places on my list.
It feels like one of those places that's forced to be like.
It's like a Vegas.
Bougie.
It's like
like everybody feels like they should go there because it's like once in a lifetime because it's like it's rich and it's this.
Yeah,
and
I into rich.
I think what really turned me off is that I used to have a client that was an escort and she would get like flown out there a lot and she would post videos and stuff and I was like,
That's the thing is it's very. Like the buildings are extravagant. It's extravagant, and I don't really give a shit about extravagant. No. I don't care if you have the world's tallest building. Like other than I'd want to see it eventually. I'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool landmark. But
the only thing that I'd want to do, don't they have this there, like those huts on the water?
They have cabanas like on the water.
I'm fucking into that. But you can get that in Mexico now. So who
get that anywhere?
You don't need to go there for that.
Plus, I don't know if the cabanas are still around. I don't know.
Oh, they're probably gone. They're underwater now.
All right. On that note, we're not experts, so we're not going to talk about Dubai until we do a little more digging. Thank you so much for watching / listening. You can email us at extranormalpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on all the social medias at Extra Normal Podcast. And thank you so much for watching, listening.
Bye.